Produced by Cisco. We're certainly proud to be here with Cisco today. Today is Cyber Wednesday at DevSec 2022, and I can tell you our next guest is right in the wheelhouse for Cyber Wednesday right here at DevSec. Al, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Firstly, Al, Jerry, always a pleasure to talk with you, and love what you guys are doing. Thanks for the opportunity. My name's Dillon. I'm the CEO of a company called Sapper Labs. We just formed a new Sapper Labs group, consolidated three elements of different companies together, expanding the Canadian footprint in Canada. We're based in Fredericton, Ottawa, and Saskatoon, and we're on a high growth curve in the cyber defense and all source intelligence field. So the fusion of data from different sensors and the internet, et cetera, to create intelligence so businesses and decision makers and commanders in the military can make better decisions.
Cybersecurity, Al, big topic right now. A lot of people should be paying attention to it. And we've talked before, and I don't think a lot of people are giving it the conversation they should. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so cybersecurity and cyber defense, and I made that distinct, difference when I made it, is that cybersecurity's got a rap over the years of being a layer in IT, and it's absolutely not the right way to go at the problem. I mean, sure, it's a IT driven, by the actual devices, et cetera, and the internet itself, but we got to rise above that and look at a cultural change and a security focus that's embedded, almost like when we, I mentioned to you before, when we build the roads and all that good stuff, and then you build the safety standards. It took 130 years to get where we are. We need that culture to get permeated through society, and so that when we build the new innovations, and this is a big missing link right now, when we build new innovations, it needs a standard and an approach that's embedded within the culture of that build, right? So not just the innovation itself, but the people doing it, et cetera, and they're all sensitive to how the data is going to be managed, what data is going to be captured, what principle, what values, what standards are we going to go after. So we've got an ethical approach to the collection, because we're, from space to subsea floor now, we're collecting all of this data. So I believe in a much more robust military-grade approach to cybersecurity and not a commercial approach to it, right? And so I believe in that fundamentally, and we believe that we can do that best as a company, as a Canadian company. We have a lot to offer, and a balanced approach, an ethical approach, and certainly a sovereign approach for the protection of our data in this country. And I believe that we can project that through export in a very valuable way because of the fact that we are that balanced populace, and we have a balanced government, and we have a balanced financial structure, and we've got some ethics and values that align with good democracy, and we're kind of the few, I would say, one of the, not the only bastion of democracy, and certainly not perfect, but we do represent a good society that can project that sort of value. So it's a big, lofty height when you look at it in the cyber defense of that perspective, but that's really what we're up against. It's not just data on a device. No. It's a cultural thing.
So you go in and train the entire organization. You're not just working with IT professionals.
That's correct. In fact, that's a really good point, Jerry. So the development that we need to build in our schools, and the work I was doing with Cyber MB and the founding of that, was a collaboration of academia, government, and industry to cooperate, not just in the context of building new technologies for economic gain and stuff, but it was also the development of the school programs, et cetera, to raise awareness. And when we're talking about that, it isn't just about technical STEM. You need to have good project managers. You need good lawyers that understand policy on the internet and how we're going to deal with this as we're going forward, et cetera, et cetera. And so the opportunity, again, is a cross-societal opportunity to raise it so that we are aware of our own data, because right now we are the commodity, right? What's changed in all of this, and this is a challenge for the military, is to keep up with it, is the fact that we are sensing everything. So I've got this cell phone, it follows me in my pocket, but the mic's on my new TVs. I'm just over there setting up a brand new TV we had bought for the show. And the whole process is all about get this app, start this up, your camera, do the mic, et cetera, et cetera. So everything is connected, and we're being watched 24 hours a day, whether we like it or not. there is some sort of device that is measuring what we're doing, particularly when you sleep with that right next to your head,
Yeah.
and you got a health monitor on,
Yeah.
etc. Some even have an alarm clock with a camera in it, which if you are one of those people, don't do that.
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
Well, you can hijack a camera. So there are devices like I won't name a specific companies just for the interest of it's a bad decision, and I think they're rescinding on them. But they were creating alarm clocks that had cameras in them and stuff, and the mic of a Google or an Amazon mic, let's say for example,
Right.
that's in them, and you'd be able to talk to your alarm clock and set your alarm, do all that. But you've also got a video camera in them. Not a great idea.
Not a good
next to
idea.
your bed.
Al, what I like about your approach, and I know your background, you and I go back a long way, you approach things as an operator. You approach things as, okay, how do I get this done at an operational level? And then you grow it from there.
Yeah.
You talk about culture and embedding cyber into the school system. Brilliant. But really down deep, you're an operator, and that's the way you look at it, through that lens.
Yeah, so the great thing about being the son and the fifth generation military guy of a great NCO brand, I was the first officer that sort of made the cut over, and I look at it and I say, what did it give me as a foundation? Is my father always said, never forget the boys and remember what you're asking them to do. And I never have. I mean, in my entire life, it's been focused on operational effects.
Right.
So we're in this game for an outcome. I'm not into it to put lipstick on the proverbial pig or anything of that nature. I'm here to actually create value with a team of experts that are all focused in the same domain. So if you truly get into culture of Sapper Labs, we come from the SOF or CAN-SOFCOM, relationships. We've been embedded in the operational community. We think about the naval operator that's got to sit at the panel. How is he going to really, truly, what is he getting for training? How is he going to get trained? What are we doing as far as an interface for them to monitor a ship?
Right.
How is he going to monitor the IPMS, so the platform management systems? How is he going to monitor communication devices, the integration in between all those systems, and do it in an effective way that he can actually do it? Because, you're talking about so much data.
Right.
So what layers can we put in there that have both manual, because you always have to revert back to a manual system, and automation capabilities in there to enable them? And so we do think, and I thank you for bringing that up, as a company, we are driven by operational effects, right? So that's our table stakes and our bread and butter.
Right. Well, there it is, Cyber Wednesday right here at DevSec 2022. And I got to tell you, this is a company you want to pay attention to. Sapper Labs, Al Dillon's been in this space a long time. He's brought this conversation into the Canadian ecosystem, built it in New Brunswick, took it on the road, and this is, he's at every defense show you could imagine. Al's in the right space at the right time. Real pleasure to have you here, Al.
Always good to see you guys. Thank you very much.